Um, where we left off, we just ran a quick simulate local. Like I said, that just gives us a starting point. We could click the simulate button. Well, we'll do it. And what happens is this actually keyframes it. Well, not keyframes, but well, okay, yeah, keyframes. First, we'll notice that it's not interacting with the pole. We don't like that, and it's really squared and ugly and stupid. See, now I can scrub the timeline, and those frames are saved. All right, that's the difference between simulate local and simulate. All right, we're just gonna erase simulation, and we'll click a few things here. Uh, Gravity. This is default here. I want to do a self collision. Click on that, and we will simulate again. We'll see what the difference is. You're not gonna be able to see the difference real well unless you know what you're looking for. So the cloth realizes itself now. Like it won't intersect with one another. If I had a wind force and they're now blowing, it'd be able to go flat back out. All right. Erase simulation. What we'll do now is we'll put a wind force in there. Just one. 90 degrees. Strength. This is all stuff you have to play around with. The strength, turbulence, frequency, and scale. I'll leave mine at 1. What I do is I just leave it at default and I'll run the simulation. You have to click on cloth forces and grab that wind you just put in. Again, this is something you should rename, wind. Flag. Alright, so let's click on this. Make sure that changed. Everything's good. Forces in simulation, that means we're currently using it. To take it out, we could just click the well, it would be the less than, I don't know, pointing left caret. I don't know. Whatever. So make sure it's in this side, this column here. And we'll run the simulation again. That obviously isn't enough. Erase simulation. Next step is to take this to 5. 5. Turbulence will set to 2. Frequency 0.5. And scale we'll leave at 1 for now. And we'll rerun it. Now the wind is starting to grab it. This gives us a chance to, erase simulation. This gives us a chance to show why we use simulate local. Is so like when you start your animation, it doesn't start as a basic, square, untouched. It's plain, it's boring, and it looks like it's the beginning of an animation. You don't want that. So we'll click on simulate local, and we just give this thing a chance to set into its ways. You can stop it whenever you think it looks alright to start. Like this would be a good starting spot. Just to stop the simulation, you just hit simulate local again. If you simulate local damped, That just slows it down to give you a more accurate time of when you want to stop it. Okay, so now we have this as our starting point. See, nothing is keyframed now. That's just a starting point. And like I said, if you ever want to erase that, just click reset state and it will take it back to the flat plane again. Alright, now what I'll do is we can do these steps in whatever order we want. I'm going to actually yeah, I guess I will. I'm going to increase the radius of the bottom part here, the stand. 'Cause I don't really need it to look. This doesn't need to be realistic. The fun thing about it is making it like the pseudo realism of it. All right. So anyway, again, the stand, whatever. Okay, so back to this. We can put we'll add a couple of modifiers to this. Mesh smooth. That takes out some of the uglier parts. Some parts will still crinkle like this, but that'll look good when it's animated. We want to put a shell modifier on there. And what happens is, let me grab it real quick. Shell. Okay. A shell modifier will give it two ends here. It gives it depth. So like right now we're just looking at a flat plane. The edge is right here. We turn on shell, and we'll just put this to 1. And now we have another edge right in here. This is the part. Alright? So that's always, you want to have something like that. And for something like this, it doesn't matter if you want the outer or inner amount. Like if I just raise the inner amount, it would come out from the other end here. That's not really important for this tutorial. Just as long as, like, if one of these corners flaps up and you see the back end of it, it would be invisible if we didn't use the shell modifier here. Alright, so I'm just going to, the way we have it here, I'm going to run. First, click this little button here. I don't even know what that's called, but you'll be able to change your frames. 300. And we will simulate that. Alright, so this is what we got. Alright, now we could animate the wind so the flag goes up and down more, whatever we could turn down. I don't know, the turbulence. We could do a bunch of stuff. For this, I'm just going to let you discover because that's half the fun. And we're about at 9 minutes. So before we move to the Photoshop portion of this, I'm going to cut this one and I'll see you at the next tutorial where we will build a map for this, a diffuse map and an opacity map, and how we'll use a quick bump map. Maybe, I mean, you probably shouldn't even use a bump map. It makes it a little bit more gritty. I like that style, so we'll do it that way because we're doing it my style. You're watching my tutorial. Mr. Gone. I'll see you the next portion.